No, because it's what they're used to.
They just keep going back and forth.
They don't do anything. That's all they do. They just go back and forth.
If they want to go over there, or over there, they're trying so hard.
The anemones seem fine.
That's because they're stuck to the rock. I like this guy. It looks like cauliflower.
Say it again. The snail is laying eggs. Where?
Yeah.
Is that one cuttlefish?
Yeah. Uno. Where is he trying to go?
Why is his skin changing? I don't like it.
It's so they can camouflage. I love him.
I like the yellow fish.
Yellow. Oh, he's pretty. The yellow tank.
They're just chilling.
Oh,
He let go.
I scared him. He swam. There they go. They're friends. We found Dory.
There she
Just
goes.
keep swimming.
She got a little bit plump.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whoa. Look at the white ones. They have weird things coming in their head.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a bonsai tree.
Yeah, it is.
It's pretty.
It is pretty.
Oh, it's a orange spine unicorn fish. It's a unicorn. Oh, it's a real unicorn.
Wow.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, they weren't pufferfish.
Why does your phone make it so blue?
I don't know, but it's better that way.
Yeah, it is, but why aren't
Hello.
my eyes just don't have any contrast?
I don't know. Aren't those the unicorn fish?
No, it was.
It's this guy?
Oh no, it is. It's an eye
Yeah, it's the
stripe.
guy. Well, yeah.
It was an eye stripe swordfish thing. I don't know. I passed too fast. Beethoven wanted to have a friend.
Beethoven is Ben's beluga from the Seattle Aquarium in Chicago. Oh, you gotta get a ray.
That's way too big. Where would I put it? You put him like on the ground.
It's Caper's friend. How would we get him home?
In the backpack.
You'd have to just hold him.
Yep.
What are these?
I do not know. There are.
Ben found this really pretty book. And Maggie, can you fold open this shirt for me? Because it's funny. I had snacks in my armpits. Yum. Okay, this meal costs like $90-some. The kids are getting grilled cheese. They went to get it. But I got chili, which is helping my throat a lot. And this is probably the healthiest meal I got on the whole trip. The cruise wasn't actually very healthy food compared to Royal Caribbean or Disney. Where's your grilled cheese?
It's not ready yet.
Oh. And we got these gigantic cookies. While we were having lunch, it got a lot busier in here. Now we're outside, and this way to the marine mammals and this way to the birds. And there's this beautiful view of the snow-capped mountains in the distance. I don't know where the kids went.
Oh my gosh, that's
Puffins!
funny.
I've been wanting to see
They
puffins.
came right up to you. That one's really turning out too.
They're not in the wild, but still, I love puffins. Hi, how you doing? Hello.
Hello.
That's not a puffin.
Uplet.
Oh, hi.
No, that's a common mirror.
No, that is. Oh, you're right. Where's the uplet? That guy is the uplet.
Yeah.
There he goes. He smashed.
Whoa!
Where did he go?
He was really fast. He just dove down there.
I think the puffin is trying to.
There he is.
Oh my goodness.
Went under us.
He swam really fast.
Went under us.
Yeah. See, look how fast he swims through the water. Look above you.
It's strange how most salmon are gray on the inside of them are red.
Pink. Yeah. It's eating the kelp. So is that one. We should go visit again.
Yeah. What's that fish just sitting there?
He's resting.
Oh, sure. Tiger fish.
Yeah, they're sharks. When I first walked up, I thought the people were sitting in the water. It looked really weird. There they are.
I think we should go over there.
Okay, okay. Okay. sea otters and you're snacking. Look how they continue to swim
He's eating the crab.
while they snack.
They're gonna sink otherwise.
He eats crab. Why do they spin?
That's because it's fun.
Also, they lose their food that's on their belly.
I like spinning in the water.
There they are, I see them.
What did you think of the Seattle Aquarium?
I absolutely loved it.
It was much more everyone oriented compared to the thing yesterday.
The Pacific Science
Yeah,
Center.
it was better suited for all audiences.
It was very nice.
It was very nice. It was very well done. They had lots of a wide array of exhibits, and the attendants were very nice and helpful and answered our questions.
They had a
And
good cafe too.
They had a good cafe, and it was just a lovely place.
Lots of nice clean bathrooms, and it's in a really scenic location.
Yeah.
We can't tell you how much it cost because we got in with our city pass, but I feel like we're very much getting our money's worth on our city pass.
Yes, I would agree.
Okay. We're gonna have to find a different way back down. Yeah. Making note of this.
Elevator. Elevator.
Okay, good. Okay, we need to catch you up. We are currently at a place called Miners Landing. It's under the big wheel at the waterfront, right next to the Seattle Aquarium. There's a bunch of different attractions in here. There's some restaurants,
Arcade,
ice cream, a carousel, and then two kind of major attractions. One is the big wheel. It's like Ferris wheel, but it actually looks like gondola cars.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna go on that next. And then the other one was called Wings Over Washington. And we're gonna tell you about that in a second, but first I gotta back up. After we got done at the aquarium, we walked up the stairs to try to go to the original Starbucks. I want to tell you right away, which I probably already showed this, but there is an elevator. You have to go from down here, you got to go into the parking ramp.
But right now it's kind of hidden because there's construction around it. So
Yeah.
there's like detour signs and it's
Yeah.
confusing and we didn't notice it.
So we took the steps up, but we did figure out once we got up there, we could take the elevator back down and then come out through the parking ramp and the construction. But okay, Megan, why did you choose not to go to the Starbucks?
Okay, first of all, that area was just a little iffy. There was, again, a lot of construction. It just seemed very industrial, like there was smog in the air, and I was like, I don't want to breathe this. There were some sketchy individuals,
Yeah,
and also,
kind of wandering around.
and also a few homeless people that we were just a little bit worried about. And then Ben and I did try to go to the Starbucks, but the line to get inside was absolutely horrendous, and they had it stationed in the sun. Like there were buildings with awnings, but then the shadow, like if these are the buildings, the shadow where the awnings were was right here, and this was the line. So
Right outside the shadow.
yeah, so that wasn't very fun, and it didn't seem to be moving, and we just didn't even feel like coffee, so we decided just like, nah, we're good, like we don't need to do this.
And you were predicting that if you had gotten in there, what would have been the case?
I was worried that the prices would have been really high.
Yeah.
Because it's the original Starbucks, they could like
Jack up the price.
jack up the prices.
We also want to like make you known that, or aware that everything, at least in the tourist areas of Seattle, is really expensive. Our lunch of basically soup and grilled cheese at the aquarium was $91. $93.
That's ridiculous.
That's insane. It does not help that the that the tax in Seattle is like 10.5%.
It's terrible.
That's crazy. So like you add on tax and that's like $8, and then it adds up, and then you add on even the most
tip.
basic tip, it's like another $12, and so you're adding like $20 just in tax and tip on every meal. And then like last night, the kids went down to the sundry shop in the hotel just to get us some microwave meals.
3 microwave meals, 3 pieces of candy, $65.
$65.
That is absolutely insane.
So yeah, just be aware. I don't know if it's like citywide or if it's just in the really touristy parts, but it's crazy expensive. I mean, I'm way over budget for food.
I've spent like my entire bank account on this trip.
Yeah, I posted this morning on Facebook that the cruise we actually got a good price on, but because of the huge cost of shore excursions, I think I spent almost $2,000 on shore excursions, and the cost of flights. We have all of us have. I mean, this is 3 different flights going back. Have the worst flights ever. Andrew spent like 24 hours trying to get home to where he lives near Boston yesterday, and it was a nightmare. He ended up missing his train on the other end, and my dad had a red eye, so he got in at 12:30 and got off at 5:30 in the morning, and our flight is at 6 a.m. tomorrow, which means we have to get up at like 2 or 3 to go do that. And so any flight that we wanted to take that was at a decent time was so expensive we couldn't afford it. And so the combination of the flights, the shore excursions, and then just everything in Seattle is outrageously expensive.
Like we just bought ice cream at the little place, and that wasn't too bad, but it was like $20.
It was $25.
$25
for 3 ice creams. And the only thing I would say is actually a normal price is Lyft.
Yeah.
We've taken Lyft, and that's like,
well, I think that's
$15
Lyft
or whatever.
is national.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, it's
like
not.
McDonald's never changes.
True.
They're a big company.
Right, but I mean, yeah, it's really expensive. Okay. So then, after we came back down in the elevator and we came back over here, something else happened. I went to buy the tickets for the 3 of us for the Big Wheel and Wings Over Washington, which came to $121. Okay. Their little machine, their card machine, didn't take MasterCard. And so they said, you're going to have to pay some other way. And I'm like, well, I don't have any other way to pay. And they're like, well, you can go to the ATM then. I'll go to the ATM. The ATM only gives 50s. You could only get 50s. So I had to take out $150. So the difference between our tickets to these 2 attractions in the cash that I had left over after paying the $121, that's the money I used to buy the ice cream just now. So it was $121 for us to do these 2 attractions. Okay, so pretty price. We go to Wings Over Washington, and okay, first we're going to tell you about the attraction itself, and then we're going to tell you what happened, because I want you to know about the attraction itself. Okay, it's really cool. It's basically like Soarin'.
It's a mix of Soarin' and Great Wolf Lodge.
Yes, or it's more like Flyover America.
Yeah, it's more like Flyover America.
And Great Wolf Lodge. Because it also mists you.
Soarin' has scents.
Soarin' has scents. But
there were scents on this one.
There were scents on this one,
too. They
too.
actually had a placard
warning you that there were scents.
There were scents, and if you have allergies, you might not want to ride this.
Yeah, there was pine. There were tulips. Did you smell anything else?
I don't think so. The water.
Water. But okay, it was really neat. There was a pre-show with like totem.
The totems moved like a
Great Wolf Lodge.
A ranger man.
Like a park ranger came out and told you safety stuff.
Safety stuff, and then he told us the story. There was a story. The story was the spirit of Thunderbird, which we learned while we were in Alaska. If you were out at night when the stars were shining at their brightest, the spirit of Thunderbird would come alive and take you on a journey of discovery. I mean, it did.
Okay, but we didn't know this the first time we wrote it, because the first time we wrote it, there were probably there was us 3, 2 sets of 2, another family of 3, and then this huge group.
At least...
I think there was like 10.
At least 10.
They were so loud. They said it was somebody's birthday. I don't care. Ben and I were joking. We're like, on my birthday, I want it to be quiet. Okay.
And what their loudness had nothing to do with it being anybody's birthday.
Yeah, they were just screaming. They were screaming so loud on the ride. It actually, like, I think it damaged my
I
hearing.
think it damaged your hearing, but it hurt.
It hurt. And they were clapping like they were at a sporting event or something. And they were already doing it in the pre-show.
So we couldn't hear the story.
We couldn't hear the stories.
You know what was going on.
So we already kind of knew these people are going to be a problem. And then they had the whole back row. The ride was only 3 rows. And they had the whole back row, and then all the rest of us were in the middle row, and nobody was in the front row. Right? Or is there no front row? Maybe there's only 2 rows.
I think there was only 2 rows. I
Yeah.
don't know what the front thing was. I don't know if it was another row or what.
Okay, so anyway, and we could tell afterwards that I would say the Japanese women sitting next to you were a little perturbed.
Yeah.
And then there were these 2 young women that had been ahead of us in line originally. They looked very upset.
Annoyed. But
And
I think they were upset, but I was a little nervous around them because those women looked annoyed even when we were saying.
yeah, I know. All we're doing is like
"What's your
talking
problem?"
quietly. Okay, but these people were so loud on the ride. They were clapping. They were screaming.
They were literally.
They were
screaming.
literally screaming at the top of their lungs through the whole ride.
Like a thing, like the scene would change and they would be like,
Yeah,
Like-
you couldn't hear the music. You
No,
couldn't.
They were acting like it was a roller.
Yeah, they were acting like it was a roller coaster, and how you would
Not a
scream on a
roller
roller
coaster.
coaster. That's what it was like.
They were so loud that we could not hear the loud music that was part of the ride. Like we could tell there was music. What was happening with the music? No idea.
So
And there were like people talking and other sounds in the video
that I didn't catch
that
because
didn't
we couldn't
catch
hear them.
the first time. And there were other like details around the ride. Like there was a joke that a raccoon had stolen the guy's watch, and we didn't
notice it the
yeah.
first time. So anyway, they completely, totally, there's no way to put it, they completely and totally ruined the experience. And I was ticked. Now, let's back up. Because they were already acting like that in the pre-show, when we were getting buckled up and the park ranger came around to check our seatbelts, I asked her nicely, I said, could you please ask them to quiet down because this is going to really ruin the experience. And she said no! She refused to do it. And I could tell the only reason she refused to do it was because she was too shy
Yeah.
to do it. It wasn't that she disagreed with me.
No, I wouldn't want to do that.
No, they were scared.
Oh,
She was like, oh, well, it's their birthday. And I said, I celebrate my birthday too, but I don't ruin other people's experiences when I'm doing it. And she just obviously was afraid to do it.
yeah.
And so she just went back and started the ride, and the ride was completely and totally ruined for everyone else on it. The experience was total joke.
I feel bad for the other people.
I do too, because they didn't do what I did,
Yeah.
which was the second the ride was over, I let everybody else get out. And then I went up to the same park ranger lady and I said, I need to talk to your manager. And she's like, well, she's right up there at the top there. And I said, okay, thank you. And I went up to the manager and I said, you're the manager? And she said, yes. I said, that was completely unacceptable. I said, I've never seen behavior like that from any other guest. And I said, we travel a lot. I mean, I've ridden Soarin' at Disney World and Disneyland, probably 40 times total in my life. I've never seen anybody act like that ever. And Disney would not put up with that crap. Okay, they would not. And I was upset, but I mean, I was speaking firmly, but not like I wasn't yelling at her or anything. But she goes, okay, relax. Calm down. And I told her what I wanted.
She even seemed like she didn't know what to do.
Yeah, she didn't seem like she knew what to do.
I'm wondering if these people aren't used to
dealing with problems. Yeah, she had no idea what to do. I knew what to do more than she did. She was like, so I told her her options. I said, that completely ruined the experience. That was completely unacceptable. I said, you can either give us our money back or you can let us ride it again without those people.
Yeah.
So we can have the experience that we should have had. And she let us do that. She said, okay. And she actually, it was a nice, small, quiet group that came in next. And it was totally...
And she let us sit back in the row we were sitting in.
Yep.
And they blocked off all the other seats in
our row. Yep, so we were by ourselves.
But then the other groups that were there, like,
We're super quiet.
I don't even know. I
Oh.
don't even think the other groups that were there were enough people to fill up the entire back row.
Yeah, no, they weren't.
So-
There was only like 6 people or something. So, and then it was a totally different
Yeah.
experience.
It was very lovely.
It was very lovely, and we noticed 1,000 things that we
Yeah.
couldn't notice the other time because we were deaf. So, yeah.
When I talked to you once, and then I couldn't barely even hear myself. I was like,
Am I even talking?
how are you that loud?
So, I mean, I guess 2 lessons from this. First of all, they all need some more training. Secondly, don't be those people, please. Don't ruin other people's experiences when you go on an attraction.
Go on a roller coaster.
Yeah, go on a roller coaster. You can scream there, okay? Or scream in your heart, like Tim Tracker would say during the pandemic. Scream in your heart. Do not do that and ruin it for everybody else on the ride who paid good money to be on there.
That was expensive.
That was an expensive attraction, and that's not fair to other people. And then, thirdly, your staff needs to get their act together. I mean, and she did not handle that well at all. I mean, at least I'm a practiced traveler and know like what my expectation, like what I could expect in a situation like this. And so I just laid it out for her. I'm like, you need to do this or this. And thankfully, she chose one of those. She chose to do one of those options. But she obviously had no idea. I don't think if I hadn't told her, she was clueless. She didn't know what to do.
She was also like,
Yeah. She had no idea what to do. If you're in a job like that, you need to be prepared for situations like that. I mean, she should have been apologizing to me and falling all over herself and saying, I'm so sorry. That's not what we want for your experience on this ride. And of course, you paid good money for this and we want you to have a positive experience and blah, blah. She didn't say anything like that.
I'm wondering if because this is like a tourist destination, they don't care as much about not the experiences, but like if there is like something like that, because like it is unlikely that we'll come back just because we aren't from here.
Yeah, that's true.
We're from far away, and so.
But I mean, I would think that in a situation like that, they'd even want to be more better prepared to handle something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think?
When you go to Disney, you only go.
Yeah, some people only go to Disney once in their life. If somebody acted like that on a Disney ride and you paid,
Yeah.
you'd be mad. So, yeah, and I mean, Disney wouldn't have known how to handle that. Because they train them for that. The one other thing we will say, although we don't think they had room for it, is on Soarin' and on Flyover America, they have like little circles with numbers for you to stand in your spot that corresponds to your seat that you're gonna have. And they didn't have that here. And so because they didn't have that, when people first came in, they just sat wherever and they didn't fill up all the seats and they had to make us get back up. And some people were already buckled and everything. They had to make everybody get back up and no, you have to fill in all the available seats all the way to the end. And again, that's a training thing. That's something they should have said as you were coming in,
Yeah.
I was already just buckled in, and then I had to move.
Yeah. We already had our stuff in our...
buckled in and I had taken
the stuff up and
tuck
put the
my
stuff underneath
stuff
in the
my
basket and
chair.
stuff,
It's
yeah.
like,
So that wasn't very professional either. So it's a really neat experience and I would recommend it, but their staff needs some procedural improvement.